What is up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. And today, it's USHL Sunday. Let me add that in the title because I forgot to add that in the title. I did remember it was USHL Sunday. Me add that. USHL Sunday. USHL Sunday. Chicka boom. Alright, good. Now the title says USHL Sunday. Good. Okay, so since there's no USHL games on today, the next game's on Tuesday, which again, why in the middle of the week? I don't understand. Like, why do we have games in the middle of the week? Like, it makes no sense. Like genuinely, not the USHL. If you know, you know. They always have games on the weekends and Sunday, maybe. I mean, Sunday is part of the weekend, but Friday and Saturday is all the games. Might be a game or two on Sunday, but during the weekends, bro, like, what? You're doing the weekday? That doesn't even make no sense. Like, it is what it is. But, yeah, that's it. Again, since we don't have any games today, next game is on Tuesday. We're gonna go straight into the standings, review yesterday's NHL 14 NHL games on Saturday, then we're out here today's 2 NHL games that are already over. With the last games before we got like a 2-week break for the Four Nations, and then Four Nations game starts on Wednesday, February 12th. So yeah, it's gonna be Canada versus Sweden. I believe is the first game. That's on Wednesday. So yeah. If you have any questions, feel free to chat. But I got a few shout outs to do here. Go follow my experts if you haven't already to the Intermission Podcast. You can get I'll repost things on there and talk about world of hockey really frequently on there. Go follow my Facebook is the Intermission Podcast blog. The only place to get my daily NHL and USHL predictions. And it's the only place you know right before I go live when you turn post notifications YouTube channel, which you should do that if you haven't already. My YouTube channel is the Intermission Podcast, in case you didn't know if you watch this on Spotify. Join my Discord, the Intermission Podcast blog Discord. Go ahead, join there. You can talk about NHL, NCAA if you want to, USHL, all that stuff. Just talk about the world of hockey, and you get to know right after I go live, and if I upload any blogs, on there as well. And for my Instagram, the Intermission Podcast. For my TikTok, the Intermission Podcast. All of my social medias, my website, my Spotify, my Twitch, all that stuff. My Twitch Discord, my actual Discord for the podcast. My USHL discussion group with about 5.2 thousand USHL fans in there, and the Saints for Life group with about 1,000 to be fine Saints fans. All in my description of this podcast and ones in the past. So make sure to go. So I was just trying to adjust my mic. Back it up just a little bit. There we go. That should be good. That's good. It's good. Alright. We'll start the Eastern Conference as per usual. Number 1 in the Eastern Conference is the Dubuque Fighting Saints. 29-12-0-1 with 59 points. They are 6-3-0-1 the last time they catch some heat. They lose this Saturday in Madison. My biggest thing with this team is why don't we use Bierman more? He's just as good, if not even slightly better than Spoon. I wouldn't say he's better, but Spoon's probably the starter. But he's just as good as him. So why not play him, right? Like if we played him on Wednesday, but we played him so much less than we play Spoon. It's not even funny. And he's just as good, if not better. He's 10-1-1. He's such good stats. He's so good. But we just continue to play Spoon on back-to-backs, and every single week he plays terrible in the second half back-to-back. He plays great, and then if he plays back-to-back, he doesn't do good in the second half of the back-to-back. He doesn't do good on the back-to-backs. So he said, you know what, let's do it again. He didn't play good last back-to-back. He continues not to do good on back-to-backs. Let's do it again. We lost. It's not really because of him, but I'm telling you, if we only played him once, you at least give him a few-day break. If you played him on Wednesday, then wait till Saturday to play him again. We had a lot better chance of winning that. If he ended up scoring 3 goals, he would have played better. We know that. He doesn't like playing back-to-backs. At least he doesn't act like it. He doesn't play like it. So why do it? I don't understand. Like, Evan Dixon's the Saints head coach, in case you didn't know, needs to stop doing this. Because, I understand if you wanted to play Bierman, Bierman on like I was gonna say, if you wanted to play like Spoon on Saturday, you just play Spoon on Wednesday versus Cedar Rapids. You play Bierman on Friday versus Waterloo, because we know the last time Bierman played Waterloo in Waterloo, he made like 41 saves. But like, play him on Friday and then play Spoon on Saturday. He doesn't play back to back. He gets a few days rest before he gets to play again. That would have been perfectly fine with me. You could play Bierman on Wednesday, play Spoon on Friday, play Bierman on Saturday. That works with me too. Whoever you're gonna play, if you're on a 3-day weekend, okay? You're on a 3-day weekend like this, you play whoever you want to play in the third game first, and then you play the backup goalie, whoever you don't want to play in the third game, on the second game, and then the third game you play the goalie you played in the first game. You get 2 starts, right? But if you're on a normal weekend, so 2 games, you play each goalie once, right? That's what you need to do. Plan accordingly. Why do we do this? Just I don't know. We should be able to win so much more games, but I'm going to be fine Saints fans, couldn't tell, but yeah, the Saints are still a very, very, very good team if we actually know how to use our goalies properly and when to use them. So if we actually use them right, we're probably one of, if not the best teams in USHL between us and Lincoln, who we get to. Number 2 in the Eastern Conference, Muskegon Lumberjacks, 25-11, 3-4 for 57 points, 3-0-1 in the last 4, 6-3-1 in the last 10 games, very similar to Dubuque. They've pulled out 13 points out of their possible 19 points. No, they pulled 13 points out of their possible 20 points in this last 10 games, similar to Dubuque. So, yeah, I mean, Muskegon's right there is Dubuque. They had two less points in 1 more game. So, Dubuque definitely is controlling their own fate when it comes to winning the Eastern Conference this season. But again, if we do not know how to use our goalies, Muskegon will catch up because they know how to use both the goalies. They are both very, very good goalies, just like us, but they know how to use them and when to use them. Similar to Lincoln, who have 2 phenomenal goalies. They know how and when to use them. That's what gets you wins. Saints are a better team than Muskegon, and I strongly believe that. And if we can use the goalie just like Muskegon does, like in the way Muskegon does, Lincoln will be better than Muskegon and probably better than Lincoln, if not just right there with Lincoln. So I'm telling you, it's really what it comes down to. And I guarantee you, Coach knows that. If he doesn't, he needs to figure it out, because it's not just me calling that out. It's all the fans calling that out, because we know that. And we're not saying that Spoon can't be the starter. He can be the starter. But you plan accordingly. You play both goalies equally. At least there's like a 3-game weekend, and then obviously you play Spoon 1 extra game. But you plan accordingly to that. Like, you don't just wing it and say, you know what, play Bierman here, and then play Spoon back-to-back instead of playing Spoon, Bierman, Spoon. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know, but Muskegon knows how to use the goalies. They're a very solid team. They're catching up with the Saints quickly. So, let's just see what that happens. Number 3, Youngstown Phantoms, 25-15-1 for 51 points. 7-3 in the last. And this team is still not very disciplined, but if they can become more disciplined, especially come playoff time, they are one of the more physical teams in the USHL. That's why they're so much penalty minutes, but they are pretty undisciplined too. But they're a very physical team. They're going to be right there in that playoff mix. I'm telling you that now. Number 4, Madison Capital, 23-11-3-1 for 50 points. They only have 1 less point than Youngstown with 3 games in hand. They are 7-2-1 in the last 10. The goals have been okay. I mean, hit or miss for sure. Offense has been great for the most part, and the defense has been good for the most part as well. Defense has been great, honestly. Goaltending's been slightly inconsistent, but it's been pretty good, and the offense has been great too. Madison just right there with Youngstown too. Youngstown, Dubuque, Muskegon, and Madison are definitely 4 huge contenders at least. But honestly, I'm higher on Green Bay than others. They're 22-19, 1-1 for 46 points, 5-4-0-1 in the last 10 for 5th in the Eastern Conference. I don't see why not. Honestly, like, Green Bay, they're so inconsistent. But again, I've said this for like a month or 2 at this point, probably longer than that, for months at this point. If Green Bay can get hot going into the playoffs, say they're on like they win 4 out of the last 5 games, or 5 of the last 6 games, or on the 4-game win streak, even 3-game win streak for that matter. They get a bit of a heater heading into the playoffs. This team could make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's like, you know, like, they have Will Zealous, Aiden Parks, who are literally the 2 leading scorers in the USHL right now, both on the same team. Absolutely ridiculous performers. But if we get those guys to get hot and the whole team gets hot, and Moffitt gets hot, and the whole team in general, including those 2, and Moffitt and Net, and the whole team in general gets hot, watch out for the Gamblers come playoff time. But if they're ice cold heading into the playoffs, they're more than likely to be a first round exit to a team like Madison or Youngstown or whoever they face. So it's probably either gonna be Madison or Youngstown. So they'll lose to either one of those teams if they have to face them if they get ice cold in the playoffs. But if they get red hot going into the playoffs, and you got Madison who's on a cold streak. The offense is kind of falling down as of late. You got goaltending's been if the goaltending's falling down as late as the offense at that point, just hypothetically, and Green Bay's red hot. Wouldn't be surprised if Madison ends up falling to Green Bay in that series, and Green Bay ends up going on to face the Butte. Muskegon, whoever wins the Eastern Conference in the second round. I wouldn't be surprised. And if you got a Green Bay Gamblers team who's absolutely red hot, and it seems like the Butte Muskegon's not really expecting that much, especially for Green Bay Gamblers who are 3-0 against Dubuque. Hypothetically, they face Dubuque, and Green Bay 3-0 against Dubuque in the regular season. At this point, they'll face them again. But at this point, and they're red hot, and Dubuque's not expecting that much. As a Saints fan, I think Dubuque would win that series, but I'm telling you now, if we underestimate them, Green Bay's red hot. And they've had a big number this season, so I don't know. That could be interesting. So I'm telling you right now, if Green Bay gets red hot going into the playoffs, watch out for them. If they're ice cold heading in the playoffs, that'd be better for a team like Madison, Youngstown, or whoever ends up facing them in the playoffs. I'm just saying that now. I've been saying it for like a month or two at this point, but I'm gonna completely lay that out on the table right now, even more in depth than I've been saying for the past like a month or two. But I have been calling that out, so if that does happen, I called that out from a while ago. 6. Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. They're 18-21-2 for 39 points, 5-4-0-1 in the last 10. The offense is garbage. Defense is great. Physical team. Goaltending's pretty good. Very physical team. Very good on defense. Goaltending slightly inconsistent, but pretty decent, honestly, for what they have. But the offense is really bad. They don't really have that much star power. If they can get the top end scorers like a GB, Astapovich, Vig, those guys to really get going. The offense to get going heading in the playoffs, and they can be as physical as they have been. They could upset a team like Youngstown and Madison. That's not really expecting much out of them. But it's going to be tough for Cedar Rapids to get a team like Madison and Youngstown who has a significantly better offense, but just as good defense and goaltending as them. And they're going to be on the road. Let's say some miraculous they get some miraculous type of play for the last 21 games. Highly doubt it, though. You got the 7, the Chicago Steel, 14-24 3 for 31 points, 5-4-1 in the last 10. This team's the definition of mid. They only have 125 goals, which is one of the lowest in the league. They have 165 goals, which is most in the league. Actually, I think I'm more, but that's not impressive. One of the worst defenses in the USHL, and goaltending's been pretty decent as of late. It's supposed to be a one-off, if not the best goaltending team in the USHL coming in this season. It's been very disappointing, but so has the entire team. Yeah. 8, Team USA, 11-23, 1-2 for 25 points. I do have 4 games in hand on Chicago, but they just still have 6 less points in them. So yeah, they're definitely probably gonna finish 8th in the Eastern Conference. So yeah, 3-5-0-2 in the last 10, pretty mid. 0-4-0-2 in the last 6, so in the 6-game losing streak right now. So yeah, they can't really buy a win right now. But they've been kind of doing that all season. They have 11 wins all season. So that's the second least amount of wins all season. Guys, obviously Omaha we'll get to in a minute. Trust me, that's a topic there. So we got in the Eastern Conference, my predictions as of right now, what I think is going to be at the end of the season, like I do every single USHL Sunday and every NHL Monday for that matter. Okay. I think the Bucks are going to be able to figure it out because I think Evan Dixon's going to be able to get the hit eventually and be able to play both the goalies and plan accordingly. For that, he's starting to play Bierman more. He's actually starting to okay, this guy's really good. He played him on Wednesday. Hopefully he gets a hint. I think he will. I think the Bucks end up getting number 1 in the Eastern Conference. Number 2, I think Muskegon. They're really pulling ahead of Youngstown. They're 6 points ahead of Youngstown. 7 ahead of Madison. Both their goalies, the defense, and everything else is going to be. And the offense has been really good as the last month or so. So I'm going to take Muskegon to get one of the 2 spots where you can get a bye in the USHL. And I said this a couple weeks ago, but I don't remember when, if you guys remember this. But I rank each team in the conference by 2s. So the top 2 teams in each conference are the 2 teams that are favored to come out of the East. More than likely the Eastern Conference, you're the conference finals, you're most likely to come out of the conference. You go to the Call Cup final, the 2 teams with a bye are the top 2 teams. 3 and 4 are teams with home ice advantage in the first round. And then number 5 and 6 are teams that are on the road in the first round. Very, very unlikely. Like the underdogs, 3 and 4, like you know they could do something. They have home advantage in the first round, but then 1 and 2 are the top dogs with buys, and then 7 and 8 are the 2 teams that missed the playoffs. So I hope you get what I'm saying here. 1 and 2 are the top dogs with buys. 3 and 4 have home ice advantage in the first round. They could do something, but they're not quite top dogs. 5 and 6 are teams that just made the playoffs and have road throughout the playoffs, on the road throughout the playoffs, and very underdogs. And then 7 and 8 missed the playoffs. You know what I'm saying there? So the Beek and Muskegon are the 2 teams that are top dogs, just like last year. Both have buys, just like last year, and are most likely going to meet up in the Eastern Conference Finals like last year. So, yeah, these 2 teams have been back-to-back, number 1 and 2 in the Eastern Conference. So, yeah, you bet your bottom dollar Muskegon wants to take down the Beek, but the Beek really wants to make it win the Clark Cup like they wanted to last year, but they failed to do so in the Clark Cup final last year. You know they want that back too, so both teams have their own different different mindsets heading in the play. So, yeah, but you get number 3. I believe going to end up being Madison. They only have 1 less point than Youngstown, 3 games in hand. I think Madison's gonna be able to capitalize on those 3 extra games. No pun intended. Actually, a lot of pun intended, to be honest. Yeah, I think they're going to get those 3 extra games in hand, and I think they're going to use those pretty well. 4, Youngstown. They're very undisciplined. That's not going to help them, but they're a very, very good team, good goaltending. They're going to be dangerous coming to the playoffs. Number 5, Green Bay Gamblers. The better of the Cedar Rapids, not quite as good as Youngstown and Madison. Right in between those 2 categories. They need number 5 spot. Number 6, Rapids Rough Riders, the ultimate underdogs on the road versus number 3 seeded in the first round. I got Cedar Rapids Rough Riders. Number 7, Chicago Shield. Number 8, Team USA. Pretty basic. Same as it is right now, besides Youngstown and Madison. Flip. Wouldn't be surprised if they don't, but I think they will, just because Madison has 3 games on the hand on. We look at the Western Conference here. We got a couple of big stories to talk about. Number 1, Lincoln Stars. They are 30-11-1 with 61 points. They are 11-0-1. In their last 12 games, they're on a 10-game win streak right now. This team, honestly, as a big fan Saints fan, are looking like the favorite to win it all. I love the Saints. It's going to be the Saints in the Stars in the Clark Cup final. I'm calling it now. I could see the team winning it. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints win it. It'd suck to see the Stars win it, but I wouldn't be that surprised either. Man. They remind me, I know this is a tough team to put them up against. I don't think they're quite on that level, but they remind me a lot of last year's Father Force, and I don't like that. They remind me a lot of that team last year. They're not quite on that level. The way they're playing right now, they're playing like the Father Force did all of last year. It's scary, but yeah, they do. They have the most goals for in the USHL. They have some of the least amount of goals against. I think, yeah, they have the least amount of goals against. They have the most goals for. They're on a 10-game win streak. They're 11-0-1 in the last 12. You got to go best offense, best defense, best goaltending tandem. The Saints are going to have to get their A-plus goaltending being the A-plus game if they face them up in the Clark Cup final, because the Lincoln are looking like the favorites to win not only the Anderson Cup, but look like the favorite to win the Clark Cup. So it's going to be tough for Dubuque if they do end up facing them, or any other team that ends up facing them Clark Cup final if Lincoln does make it, because obviously Sioux Falls, Waterloo, Sioux City, Fargo, all those teams all want it, but Lincoln definitely looks like the favorite coming out of the West. But the second favorite to come out of the West, in my opinion, and pretty much everybody's opinion, is the Sioux Falls Stampede. You got 27-10-2 and 1 for 57 points, 6-1 in the last 10. Goaltending, experience. They have experience in the goaltending. The goaltending not only very great, but he has experience similar to Lincoln. It's very, very good goaltending. And with experience, defense, great. Offense, it's great. It's good, but not Lincoln good. So I will say that. But Sioux Falls and Lincoln, very, very odds-on favorite to be the Western Conference Final. And if that does end up happening, that'd be a very fascinating series to watch. Number 3, the Waterloo Blackhawks, 21-11-5-4, 51 points. They're 7-2-1 in the last 10. I told you, if they can get on the heater, they can start winning those close games, closing out games. They could be dangerous. They're number 3. They're looking to get a bye out of the Western Conference this season, not have to deal with the first round like they did last year, underestimate the number 6 seed and get swept in the last year, in the first round like they did last year. They just want to not have to deal with the first round, get a ticket straight to the second round. They're fighting for that bye. You know they don't want to deal with that again. So yeah, they have something to play for too. So yeah, they're looking for it. Sioux Falls and Lincoln's definitely running away with the 2 byes out of the West. Especially Lincoln. They're 10 points ahead of Waterloo. But definitely not that much, honestly. 4, Sioux City Musketeers, 21, 16, 2, and 4 for 48 points, 6, 3, 1 in the last 10. Sioux City Musketeers catching some heat in the last, I would say, last month. They've been on fire. They've been great. So yeah, we want to see how Sioux City can really handle themselves because the goaltending, if it's on, it's on. You got their defense pretty inconsistent, offense pretty decent, very inconsistent but pretty decent. So yeah, you never know what Sioux City can do. Honestly, if they're on their A game, they can beat anybody. But I don't know. I don't really like them matching up against teams like Lincoln, Sioux Falls, and even Waterloo for that matter. 5, Fargo Force, 21, 17, 2, and 2 for 46 points, 2 and 8 in the last 10. I hate to say it, if you're a Fargo Force fan, the Fargo Force are getting exposed. I've said this for a past 2 months, that the Fargo Force offense is garbage. They only have 126 goals for, which is among, I'm pretty sure it's the 5th worst in the league. Tied for 5th worst in the league, I believe, with the morning. That's not good. If you want to make noise in the playoffs like last year's Fargo Force team, you have to have your Lincoln Stars caliber offense. You're even Dubuque, Muskegon as of late, Youngstown, Madison. Those guys. You have 137 goals in 42 games. That's bad, bro. I mean, it's not good. And they have 126 goals against, which is some of the best in the league. That's very good defensive goaltending. They don't have offense. They should not have the same amount of goals for as goals against if they want to actually contend. They can't. They cannot. They're getting exposed. That's why they're 2-8 in the last 10. They're getting exposed. That's simply put, that's how it is right now. We'll get to that. We'll come back to them in a minute. 6, Tri-City Storm, 18, 22, and 1 for 39 points. 37 in the last 10, 4-game losing streak. Tri-City Storm, getting exposed. Goaltending, pretty bad. Defense, bad. Offense, pretty decent. They have Artemi Nezmayev. That's about it. Team, pretty lackluster. They're going to be fighting with the number 7 seed right now, Des Moines Buccaneers, 18, 22, 2, and 0 for 38 points. 37 in the last 10. Those two teams are going to be fighting for a playoff spot. Very, very hard. Tri-City does have 1 game in hand and 1 more point. So Tri-City is likely to make it, but so the Tri-City is controlling their own fate right now. But the more they're trying to claw back, you never know. Both teams can get hot. You've seen it happen. The outcomes on the stretch. 8, and we got these guys. Omaha Lynch is at 6, 34, and 1, 17 points. They are on a 23-game losing streak right now. They are 0, 10, 0, and 0 in the last 10. And they're on a 23-game losing streak. And don't worry, the owner says that their head coach and the previous owner was the reason why Omaha is failing right now. And that's not. Yeah, maybe because you are having your own kid playing in the top 6 and you're trading away 5 bona fide superstars in the USHL. You're trading them all away. You made your kid play in the first line and you're trading your whole team away. No chemistry. Keep changing the head coaches consistently. Putting all the pressure in the water on those kids. And you're literally telling them to lose so you can get a tax cut. You're telling them to lose on purpose so you can get a tax cut. You're making your kid play in the first line. You're trading 5, maybe even 6 bona fide superstars. You keep changing their head coaches. They have no chemistry. I wonder why they're not doing good. I want to know why. You take a look in the mirror, and I think you can figure out why. I think you can figure out who the culprit is for that one. Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, my Western Conference predictions is obviously number 1, obviously the Omaha Lancers. I mean, obviously, they're by far the best team in the USHL right now. I'm sorry. Omaha, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I felt pain you have to go through right now. But on a serious note, number 1, Lincoln Stars, obviously. I wouldn't say obviously, because, Sioux Falls Stampede's 4 points behind them with 2 games in hand. But I think they're going to win the Western Conference too. Not too far behind them. Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls is going to be right there with Lincoln. If that is the Western Conference Final, which in my opinion it will be, that's going to be a very, very good series to watch. Here's number 3, the Waterloo Blackhawks, 21, 11, 5, 4, 51 points. They're on a heater right now. This team's finally starting to figure it out, and they look pretty dangerous. So I think they're going to get it. Number 4, Sioux City Musketeers. I think they're going to end up being Fargo Force. So yeah. Right behind them, 5, the Fargo Force. Sioux City Musketeers were definitely behind them, but they overtook them, and they're looking much, much better than them. I think Fargo Force can continue to be kind of there. Sioux City's continuing to definitely not be a great team, but definitely not a bad team. Good enough team to get some wins when it matters most. Fargo Force kind of is going to be there, losing a lot of games, winning some, losing a lot. 6, Tri-City Storm, worse than Fargo. Not by that much, but they're definitely worse than them. So yeah, 7, the Des Moines Buccaneers will only be 2-3 points behind them, but I think Tri-City is going to end up using that game in hand. And then 8, you guys said, I know, some crazy, shocking surprise. Yamaha Lancers. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to go over the goal scorers. I think I'm going to go over each game and the big stories from each game. So, yeah. Cool. All right. That was a good win over the Canadians. 4-0 for 34 save shot from Jake Allen. I hope Jacob Markstrom can get healthy. Hope he can get closer to being healthy over the Four Nations face-off break. Oh yeah, by the way, Quinn Hughes is out for the Four Nations face-off, and Jake Sanderson will be replacing him. I hate these players just dropping out of Four Nations face-off. I think like they should do like what the NBA Cup did and be like adding money for the winners. I know NHL doesn't generate that much money, but they don't need to put that much money on the line. They need to put enough money on the line where all the players want to win, but not enough where they go like bankrupt. But so like. Yeah, I think they should do that so players want to play, but there's so many players just dropping out. Like Quinn Hughes, I get he's been hurt for like a couple weeks at this point, but Petrangelo, for example, who said he was healing with an injury, will play 25 minutes the next night and stuff like that. But Sanderson is stepping in. It's going to be very, very fun and entertaining, but it could be more fun and entertaining if the players do not, first of all, don't drop out of the tournament. Second of all, actually want to be there and want to play and actually want to win. So, yeah. But yeah, the Devils heading the Four Nations face-off. They were on a terrible streak for the past like month. Get a W. We all know what they can do if they get hot. They can win the Stanley Cup if they play their best, for sure. But since they get a 34 save shutout, it was a great confidence booster for Jake Allen. Huge confidence booster for the whole team. They go into the Four Nations face-off with a win. Hopefully, they can come back and end this bad month. Start the road to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So after the Four Nations face-off, it's basically a race for the playoffs at that point. It is road to the playoff, road to the Stanley Cup final. You road to the Stanley Cup playoffs from there on out. That's the stretch. Just after the Four Nations face-off break, it's the final stretch of the 2024-2025 NHL season. Same thing for the USHL. Final stretch. And then we got playoffs after that, and then done. So, yeah. But the Lightning take a huge win over 6-3 over the Red Wings. Lightning jump on them quickly. 34 saves, 37 shots against for Andrei Vasilevsky. He had a ridiculous performance. Lightning beat the Senators twice and beat the Red Wings, who are on a 7-game win streak heading in this game, may I add. So the Red Wings get taken down. The Lightning beat the divisional rivals, the Senators twice, who were chasing them. 2 huge wins for the Lightning. And then another huge win for the Lightning. The Red Wings were chasing them too, fending off other teams. Hurricanes were very tight with the hockey club, but they really took off. They got a goal there in the third period, and they really took off after that. 36 saves and 39 shots against for Peter Kochetkov. Great performance by him. Great offensive performance by the Hurricanes. That was pretty. We expected the Hurricanes to beat the hockey club, but I didn't really expect them to beat them by 4 goals. But that's very impressive for the Hurricanes, heading into the Four Nations break with a huge win. I take on the Bruins. Bruins were controlling and leading the game basically the whole time. And then, they went up 2-0 in the first. Mark Stone, late in the first, brought it back within 1. Late in the second, Morgan Geekie brought it a 2-goal game. And then White Cloud, 34 seconds of the second period, brought it within 1. Early in the third period, Dolayev ties it up, and then Hurdle, with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the clock, takes it for the Knights. Knights controlled the entire third period. They really got some momentum back with that late goal in the second. I believe they got a goal late in the second period. Yeah, second period at least. Really gave them momentum. They controlled the entire third period. They got 2 unanswered goals in the third period. 3 unanswered goals in general for them. Huge one for the Knights. Outshot the Bruins 38-24. They deserve those 2 points. They got to 2 points. Knights, huge win over the Bruins. Heading into the Four Nations face-off, like 2.5-week break, a 2-week break, I think. The Bruins go off on a loss. That's unfortunate for them. Panthers outshoot Senators 48-27. Pick up a huge 5-1 win over the Senators. wins over his brother Brady Tkachuk in the Tkachuk Bowl. Brady Tkachuk gets a goal, and I'm pretty sure, yep. And Matthew tied it up right after Brady got a goal. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Flyers take down the Penguins 3-2. Sidney Crosby did not play in this game, even without Crosby and Malkin. They outshot him 33-20 in Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, not Pittsburgh. They're both in. I was about to say in Pennsylvania, but they're both playing in Pennsylvania. In Philadelphia. So yeah, they get outshot by 13 shots, but they still pick up a win. 2 points is 2 points. They don't ask how, they ask how many. Rangers outshoot the Blue Jackets 40-25, and they get a huge 2 points. Very close games. The Rangers pick up 2 points. They're heading the Four Nations face-off, only 3 points outside of a wild card spot because the Senators and the Red Wings lost. So yeah, I would say, but I think off the top of my head, I can check actually. I'll check real quick, maybe really quick. Hold up. Yeah, they head in the Four Nations face-off break, only 3 points outside of behind the Red Wings to the last wildcard spot. They're in a good position at this point, not a great position, but a decent position. They can definitely make the playoffs. I think they will just because they're an established team. I don't know. Blues shoot the Blackhawks, double the Blackhawks shots. Bennington being the Team Canada's goalie heading in the Four Nations break, who he plays on Wednesday for Team Canada. It's 5 goals to the Blackhawks and 20 shots. Terrible game from him, but the Blues get 40 shots in goal, get the W in a 10-round shootout. So yeah, what a game and rivalry game in St. Louis. Blues take down the Blackhawks. Yeah, it's not very impressive for them. Maple Leafs outshoot the Canucks 4-0 early in the game. Canucks end up shooting them 11-2 for a stretch. Canucks, Maple Leafs, they going back and forth. They both had the great stretches. Canucks able to squeak out a 2-1 win over the Leafs. The Leafs go 3-1 in the Canadian road trip. Western Canadian road trip. I believe they played Canucks, obviously, Oilers, Canucks, Flames, Canucks. I know it's not Washington, Canada, but I think they played the Kraken in the Western there. Yeah, I think they did that too. Yeah. So yeah, they get 6 out of the 8 possible points in their road trip. Demko makes 6 saves and 6 shots against, but he gets hurt. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, hopefully it's nothing too serious, but we're gonna have to see. Lincoln comes in, is great. In relief, Leafs having their struggles against Vancouver. So yeah, Predators get a late W over the Sabres 6-4 in Nashville. 2 terrible teams this season. Wild go down versus the Islanders, and they come back and score 5 unanswered, I think? 4 unanswered? Let's see here. They go up 1-0, and then they go down 3-1, and then they score 5 unanswered to beat the Islanders 6-3. Gustafsson doesn't have a great start, but he ends up making 31 steals and 34 shots against, and a great performance by him. As the Wild score 5 unanswered to defeat the Islanders, they go into the Four Nations face-off break on a huge win. The Islanders go into Four Nations break, being right in wild card contention out of the East. They do go off on a loss. It's been unfortunate for them. Kraken take a huge 2 points in overtime over the Flames in Calgary. What a game that was. The Stars let the Sharks go up 2-0 and say, hey, you might beat us. And then the Stars say, no, we're going to score 8 goals on your head, and we're going to smash all of your hopes and dreams of ever winning a game once again this entire season. He said, you know what, you might actually win a game this season again. And the Stars said, no, we're going to score 8 goals on your head, and we're never going to let you guys win a game again. That's a pretty long story short for how this game went. So, yeah. Ducks pull off an upset in LA. 43 saves on 44. 43 saves and 44 shots against for Lucas Dostal. What a ridiculous performance by Dostal. Ducks pick up a huge 2 points in LA. Ducks don't play phenomenal. Kings play out of their mind, but just Dostal played even more out of his mind. Pick up a huge 2 points for the Ducks. The Kings go off into the Four Nations face-off break. After beating the Stars at home in a shootout, and then losing the next night at home versus the Ducks in a shootout. Ducks are off going to Four Nations face-off break with a huge performance by Dostal and 2 points. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed today podcast episode. If you night, watch us live, watch us after 11 night, 3 morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. The channel if you haven't already, 10 post notification channel if you haven't already. Follow this podcast if you haven't already. If you watch this on Spotify, post notification if you haven't already. Like this video if you haven't already. So yeah, I'll be doing USHL Sunday. I will see you guys tomorrow for NHL Monday. Peace.